I can't just let the live go and then just disappear, okay? I have to finish it. So if you want to come back and see the replay, you can come back and see the replay, okay? But I'm going to talk about my story time because I got into it, so I'm not going to start, right? I'm going to stop. As soon as you give birth to your baby, the narcissist will change, okay? They will start trying to control your family. They will, when I mean change, obviously they were like this before, but they are going to put their foot on the accelerator. They are not. The narcissist wanted me to do the most after giving birth. Hello, whoever's in the chat. Hi. Jesus. YouTube, save me. Like, this is for anybody who is pregnant and they just found out they're with a narcissist, or what's my ex's name? I will expose, but I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna say his name. Um, I'm not gonna say his name, but they can't save you. Listen, God only can save me. That's one thing I know. But you listen. You already know the deal. The thing is, I feel like when I say it, I sound crazy, so I just don't want to say it. Okay. But I'm going back to the story time pregnancy because a lot of women, especially on my TikTok, they talk about how they're pregnant and they've left the narcissist, or the narcissist has left them, or whatever, whatever. I know someone who was pregnant, and as soon as they got pregnant, the narcissist literally left and said, "I don't want to be a part of you or the baby's life." They've gone, and they wait until it's at a certain point where you can't actually get rid of the baby because you've already told everyone, and they probably know that you're not that kind of person to even get rid. So they leave. So I don't even know where to start with pregnancy and narcissist. I don't even know, honey. As soon as that baby came out, that was it. That was it. You know, I was being neglected. The narcissist left me every weekend. You know, and really and truly, he forced me to breastfeed. He forced me. You know, um, I feel like I would have done it anyway, but I breastfed for too long, put it that way. And that was because obviously I'm going to be stuck to my child. I can't really do anything, can't drink, can't go out, can't go on holiday, can't do nothing if the baby's stuck to me, right? But yeah, my family just said, "What the hell happened?" As soon as you gave birth, and obviously I'm on hospital drugs, I'm all over the place. Oh, thank you, Kat, for staying with me for this long. Thank you. I hope you have a good night. I hope you enjoy your evening. Um, Thank you so much. Hope to see you again, Kat. Thank you. Hi, Sincere. Sorry, you know what? Basically, things keep happening where the YouTube keeps exiting. Have a good evening, Kat. The YouTube keeps. I don't even know. Yeah. So, as I was saying, pregnancy. I think it's a problem with my phone actually, Sincere, because that's why I'm doing more lives now, because I tried to like do a video and upload and it doesn't happen. That's why my upload's been all over the place lately. So I just prefer to go live. Even if no one's on live, that's okay, because I need to just have this video here and upload it straight to YouTube. Anyway, pregnancy and the narcissist. Like literally, as soon as I gave birth, I, I'm gonna go into detail. Before I even did the afterbirth, my man's been abusive to my mum, even to a point his younger brother, which is the scapegoat child of that family, right? He was like, "What are you doing? You can't speak to her mum like that." Like, he was like, "What the hell?" And he kept trying to force me, when are we going to leave the hospital? When are we going to leave? Had to stay. I had surgery. There's so much things, so much complications. It was a traumatic experience for me. He didn't give a toss, right? And he just wanted to leave. And I was thinking, why do you want to leave so much? And my mum reckoned he was on some hard drugs, But I don't. If he was, I didn't know about it. Okay. So he just wanted me to suffer. After I have that baby, he wanted me to suffer. I didn't know anything about a birthing present. I didn't know nothing about men running their women baths. I like, what? He just like, "Ugh, I feel trapped." He was the one that wanted the baby. He's the one that I know for a fact trapped me. He was the one that can't even explain to you. You just get it, right? And I was with the narcissist for 8 years, and I was 24 at the time. So understand that 24 is not a bad age to have a child, and you're with that guy for a long time. But what I need people to understand is that it's not about length. Just because you're with a guy for what was it at that point, 6 years or something like that, 8 years, whatever. Because you're just because you're with a guy for that long, doesn't mean he is right to be your child's father. Like, no, you can meet someone in 2 months and he can be the one. And I feel like that's why people think like, oh, how long have we been with him? Anyway, get off topic. So they just change. He was like, all of a sudden he wants to party. All of a sudden he feels trapped. But you weren't feeling like that before. When it was just me and you and I wasn't pregnant and there was no baby, you didn't want to party. You wanted to chase your dream. You wanted to get investment because we was in business together. Like, just blew my mind. And he just lodged me. He neglected me. And then and no one could come to my house. I had no friends, no family. I'm isolated with a child, breastfeeding. I'm feeling like trap, trash. So another story time, right? So it got to a point I'm losing my mind now. I'm anxious, I'm depressed on next levels, and usually I felt like I was quite mentally strong, but he broke me down. I was low at this point. He came home because he would come home at like 4 in the morning every night. So I knew before I knew that he was cheating, right? Hey girl, hey Hannah, how are you? I haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing? I'm glad you can make this live. So where was I going? I'm getting excited because people's in the chat. Hey girl, hey guy, hey people in the chat, hey. But no, seriously, so I got so anxious and depressed, and I literally was crying tears, and I said to the narcissist, I need some friends. I'm gonna lose my mind. I remember that day clearly. Like the house was a mess. It was just oof. It was grey. It was dark. It was when you remember those days, right? And he was, I can't remember what he said. I literally can't remember what he said. But I went on to this app, right? There's this app in the UK called Mush. You meet up with other mums or dads, because it can be lonely when you have kids. So, and especially if your friends don't have kids or you can't meet up or whatever, because it's tough, when you have kids. So you can link up with other mums with kids around the same age, coffee date, or you can go to the park, or you can just date other parents with kids, like play dates. And I told him about it because obviously I had to tell him everything, right? And he said, there's some weirdos online. Bearing in mind, that's true. That was a little bit of truth he used. There is, because even before, if you was on the chat from before, which I don't think you were, there was, anyway, let's not get into it. But he was like, oh, be careful, someone doesn't run off with your kid. And I was like, huh? So he's putting stuff in my mind. I just wanted a friend. I just wanted someone to talk to. That's all I wanted. The friends that I had, you ran them away. So now I have to go online and look for some because I'm not even allowed out the house. I have to go online to look for friends. And I'm such a sociable person. I know so many people that was just really a low point for me. So yeah, he kept putting stuff in my mind, and it got to a point where he couldn't make me change my mind. I think that's when he knew, all right, this girl, I'm losing my control over her now. So he would take me there. He would act like he's being cool. He's like, yeah, I'll take you to this place. It was fine. I ended up meeting some amazing people online on Mush. I ended up meeting some amazing mothers, some amazing people, and he didn't like it. And I started having a life. I started getting invited to birthday parties, and people were turning 30 and invited to their birthday parties and meeting their husbands. And I think I understand why he tried to isolate me now, and that was because I started meeting other women who were married and their husbands are just taking them out on dates, like regular. Their husbands are flying them out, looking after their kids, staying at home with so I understand why he did that, but the pregnancy, that's when the true colours show. He's either going to leave you pregnant, discard you, or he's going to wait for you to discard him, or he's going to discard you, but he's going to wait until his other new supply or whatever is up to scratch. But pregnancy and the narcissist is not going to be fun. They can't handle the responsibility, which is the blessing. Then they kick you when you're most vulnerable with the child. Only others who've been through it can understand the torture. Sincere? That's a good name for you, I'm telling you. Telling you that now. It's crazy. Like I can't even think about it. And the amount of money this narc owes me, and he's purposely not giving me that money back. He owes me money that he now has that he can pay me back, right? And it's crazy. Always miss your life talks, busy with the little ones. Yeah, I went through the whole evaluation, discover president, tried to push me down the stairs. Sis. Oh my god. Hannah, do you know what? I was just saying before that it's really hard for me to actually come on live because my kid, he tried to tell me to get an abortion. The thing is, right, I don't really agree with abortion, but however, I'm 50-50. And let me explain. So, if that guy knows he's not going to be a part of the kid's life, then you have to prevent yourself from getting a woman pregnant. If it does happen, you should stand up and be a man and deal with it, right? If not, you can tell the woman, okay, have an abortion or whatever. But there's some narcissists that actually don't want you to get an abortion. They want you to have the kid. And then they move differently when the baby arrives. You know? So I'm really I'm actually really sorry that he actually did try to do that to you, kick you down the stairs. You see, all this stuff kind of makes me like, it really upsets me because I can't, I don't know, you know what it is? Because when I think about, when people say stuff and I think about it, I actually like imagine it in my head. So I close my eyes and I can actually think about what's been happening. But people don't really talk about the pregnancy side. Like they talk about having kids with narcissists and co-parenting, but they actually don't actually talk about getting pregnant. Like either them trapping you or once it happens, you know, they tell you to have an abortion, or even what he tried to do to you, tried to even, I don't even like saying it, I don't like putting in the atmosphere, but what he did to you, throwing you down the stairs, you know what his intention was. So it's, I don't understand how they can get away with this. They should be in jail. I'm so sorry, they should be. I don't understand how these people are walking away scot-free, you know. And then there's people that are in jail for, obviously fraud's not good, but people in jail for fraud, people in jail for tax evasion, and you've got these narcissists walking the streets like it's nothing. Like, it just blows my mind. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. You know what? God is good. God didn't. God, hmm. Let me tell you something. God, He knew what He was doing. Children is just a trap to control you in the worst way. This is why it's tough right now, because they just come back in when they feel like it, and sometimes they don't come back, but they don't come back in. And you know, like I said before in my last live, I don't think you girls went on the other live, but you know, when the narcissist realized that we weren't going to be sleeping together anymore, and I would just focus on my healing, that was it. That was it. It was like that's when he started threatening to kill me, putting hands around my neck. And before, look, when I was in the relationship, there was no, even when I was pregnant and everything was going a bit crazy, there was no physical abuse. It was all emotional, financial abuse, right? Mine used to. They only come back to you were pregnant. You know, these chats are going so fast. I think it was Pillar that said something, said that he was pregnant with the nut, but I didn't get the whole message. It went really quick. Oh, sometimes I just get speechless, guys. Like literally, I literally get. I know I talk a lot. I can talk for England, and I have all these videos, but I get speechless sometimes. I'm still in shock that even I went through what I went through. But sometimes I'm in more shock that you guys have gone through what you've gone through, because it's crazy. And I feel like that's why the narc gets away with, like, I can't get any compensation. If the narc has hit you, you know you can get compensation. I think it's up to 8 years. There's places where you can get compensation. I think it's up to 8 years, right? Of Sorry, I'm just trying to not let the live go off because the live likes to go off. There's places where you can get compensation, right? Um, if the narc has hit you, or if you've got any proof that the narc's done anything to you. So I suggest you try and get compensation. The narc knew what he was doing. He purposely did emotional abuse. So there's no proof. There's no proof. And they say that I've actually tried to get compensation, and they've said that the only way I'll be able to is if what was it? I have PTSD, and I feel like I have CPTSD. I can't even say the word. I can't even say the word. Sorry, guys. But trying to get proof of your mental is really difficult, especially that by the time you get proof, you're fine. Do you know what's funny? Let me tell you something funny, right? Okay, it's not funny. There's nothing about this is funny. But the actual narcissist in my life was the person who showed me about narcissists and what narcissistic people do and who they are. Before that, I was typing in YouTube. What was I typing in YouTube? I was typing in spiritual attack. I felt like I was being attacked spiritually because obviously his mum's a witch and she was doing her witchcraft on me. So I felt like it was more of a spiritual thing. I didn't know there was like a term for this narcissistic thing. Like I didn't know. Do you know what? Do you know what happened? Let me tell you a story, Hannah. Right. So when I'm finally breaking free from the narcissist, I couldn't get the police to take it seriously after he assaulted me. He said, when I told him I'll report it, I am the police. Oh my God. Was he with a police officer? Is it Pillar of Light? Was it a police officer he was with? Oh my God. I was saying this in the other live before. I was saying that there's a TV show in the UK called EastEnders, and and it's about I wouldn't even call him a narcissist, a psychopath, someone who's just mentally gone, right? He's a solicitor, and anyone who tries to go against him, they will never win because they're in powerful positions. It's really sad. I'm just police. Oh, okay, so Pillar of Light. How about you go to? Oh God. It, yeah, you're right, sincere. What I was talking about Pillar of Light was there's actual companies. They're kind of like I don't know what they're called. Kind of like they're like compensation companies. So you go to them and you say, look, I've been abused physically. Like this is the proof. These are the photos, and you take out a case. But I'm not sure if it's. And to be honest, you know what? The narcissist in my life, he used voodoo. So when I tried to go to the police and write a statement, it just disappeared. The statement disappeared. Like, and I knew about a narcissist before I broke up with him, and I kept seeing videos. People kept saying to me, the main thing they said, "Ah, well done, Pillar. I'm so glad that you're free." Ugh, thank God, freedom is underrated for real. So I keep every time I read these messages, I go off topic. Um, I literally lost my train of thought. Then Jesus. But I'm so happy you guys are free, guys. Like, I get so excited, and like I get messages on my Instagram of people. I just found out he's a narcissist. I just found out she's this, and I'm just like, this happens every day. He plays a victim, covert. They're the worst. They are the worst. The victim mentality. Wow. Yeah, they aren't black magic. Let me tell you what happened. So before I left the narcissist, they kept saying record the narcissist, record, 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 because what you say, I don't know why they're able to manipulate. Yeah, police are. Do you have a hospital report of the attack? Hospital report, yeah. Yeah, hospital report. But most of the times, like, we're too scared to even go to the hospital and to go to these places to even get proof. But if you've got proof, definitely try and get compensation because they need to flip him pay for what they've done. I keep off topic, but I don't know. I just the coverts are the worst. They're the victims. So in my case, I recorded Narcissist the day that we broke up, the day that he had the narcissistic rage. It was about an hour long, right? And I should have sent it to more places. I think I have it in my email somewhere, but I don't. I just can't find it. It's really weird. I had it. I had the recording, and when I went to the police, they were like, "Oh, can you give us the recording?" So I tried to go to them, and they said, "No, you can't come to the office, the police station, to give the recording, but you can upload it on a like police um what is it, like a police system thing." Can you believe the police system thing was it was malfunctioning, so this whole system just crashed. And they said, "Oh, you can come into the police station if you want." Guess why I couldn't go into the police station? I was bedridden. I had flu. If you've had flu before, you know you can't leave your head off that pillow. Like, you can't move. So he got away with it because I was sick and the system was down. So I had the recording, and now I don't know what's happened to that bloody recording. Ugh, I know I've got it, but I don't know where the flip it is. And I'm just like, oh. But he got away with it. You know, the narcissist came to my house one day and he just pulled up, right? So I called the police. Like, what do you think this is? And obviously, as you know, as a black woman from South London, we don't call police. Like, that's something we just don't do. So I call police. I call police on his ass. He pulled up. He's at my house. He's banging the door. My neighbor has actually called me now. She's been like, "Do you know this guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's my baby father." She's like, "Don't open that door. He's dangerous." Bearing in mind, this woman don't know me like that. She don't know anything. She just said, "Don't open the door to him. He's dangerous." So I called the police. Oh, listen, this ranting thing would have ended him. This thing would have ended his whole, this would have done his dance a long time. You don't understand. You can hear him, you know, throwing stuff at me, calling me bitch. You can hear him trashing my house. Like, everything in my statement would back it up with that bloody recording, and everything got dropped. So, and he's upset. "Oh, now now that I don't even live in peace anymore because I get labeled as a woman beater." I only record it because there was one woman, I don't remember her name because this was years ago, and she recorded it like actual video. But at that point I was too scared. Couldn't find him at first. Kept going through the wrong address, even though I gave him a million times. So strange. He was found arrested. A restraining was given. Do you know that restraining order, right? That thing has saved me. You don't actually get it. The restraining order has saved my black ass, because the way he was, right, the way this guy is, he don't fear nothing. He don't fear his mum, his dad, the law. He don't fear nothing. Yeah, but when it comes to the police with him and that family, it makes him stop. You know, his mum tried to beat me up. Yeah, that witch. The narcissist mum tried to beat me up. That was the day when God kept saying to me, "You need to leave," and I didn't bloody leave. But I left the relationship with her, but I didn't leave him, right? Because, you know, I'm lost. I was brainwashed. She came towards me like this. "I've always hated you," and she came and she tried to beat me up. Yeah. Do you know what stopped me? Remember, I had my son, which is also her grandson, on my hip. I think he was like two years old at the time. She came at me. And this woman, she big. "Hey, Layla. Ah, thank you for catching the live. You know, I'll say I'm on live and then I'll just come up, whatever." My son was on my hip, right? Swearing at me, oh my God. Do you know this narcissist nearly squashed my son? My son was behind the front door and I kicked him out of my house, right? And I tried to lock the front door and he just pushed the door back. You know your mummy senses, right? I pulled my son. Like, I don't understand. When I was with the narc, right, that day, I was moving like I was Superwoman. The way I was just ducking and diving. He threw my son's metal scooter at me. I ducked. I don't know how I missed that. He threw 2 litre bottle of water at me. I ducked. Look, I should be hurt. I didn't get touched because I don't know what it was. It was like, what they call it? Fight or flight. I was ready to, hey, look, you don't get it. From that day, I said, "Fuck you, mate." Mate, ninja. As listen, I was escaping the madness. Like, see, that's the thing. I don't really understand the restraining order. I really need to find out because I honestly thought restraining orders were like, I thought forever. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking that. But how long do they last? I'm not sure because obviously it's different in different countries, different states. So I'm not sure. But yeah, the narcissist is dangerous. And you know what happened? I didn't call the police. The police came, right? I didn't call them. Do you know what happened? Um, we were shouting and screaming and for ages that neighbors six neighbors called the police and said you need to go around there because stuff's going crazy. It's only a year. Yee. Mine mine ended for 2 years ago then. But I think the reason why they're not indefinite are, do you know what? When I was signing it, right, I ran to, because my head was a mess and I had nobody to help me at the time. I went to a domestic in the UK, only in extremes. Okay, I ran to a domestic violence shelter. They're called Solace. They are so amazing, literally. Oof. I went to Solace and they just handled a lot of stuff. The thing is, my narcissist, I don't think he's watching. I think he's got spies, like, I don't know, maybe like a cousin or something. I just don't feel like he's watching. The thing is, I have social media, but that's for you guys, so escaping the madness. I also have a personal social media. Well, it's not personal, it's my makeup chat one, but my ex knows about that one. So I know he stalks me on there, but I don't post anything on there at all. Um, because I clocked that he had weird flying monkeys messaging me. Imagine his cousin, his female cousin, messaged me once saying, "Really, didn't do anything." Do you know what? Right, where I was living in poverty. Like, I'm not sure if you know where Aylesbury is in London. It's a big block. Like, this is where people stab each other, crackheads. I was living in poverty, right? So that stuff was normal, but I think it was just going on for too long. You know, if someone's screaming and shouting for a whole hour, I think if it's like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm not going to say anything, but a whole hour, I think it's like an hour and a half. Is your ex still contacting you? How do you co-parent? So he contacted me in a few months ago, 4 months ago, right? And he just basically, he called me, right? He called me and he was like, look, I want to be cool with you. I want to co-parent with you. And the kind of person I am, I'll give you a million chances. That's fine. Like, you can see your son, even though you threatened to kill me and you threatened, yeah. You're still good, right? So I was talking to him and I said, look, I'm not here for the F shit, yeah? You either in or you're out. I ain't got time for the nonsense. I got ish to do. He started saying, oh, I could buy you a brand new car. I could put our son on. I could put you on. All your dreams at future faking, basically. Then he said, oh yeah, I didn't tell you, but I'm having a kid. I'm having a little girl with that girl that he cheated on me with, a Brazilian girl who knows no English and has no family in this country. So I really do feel sorry for her because if anything happens, she's flying to Brazil with that kid. Anyway, so he was like, yeah, I'm having a daughter. So I said, congratulations, because the kind of person I am, I've already forgiven you. And the fact you're not in my life, that's a blessing. So I said, congratulations, I hope everything's fine. So he tried to make me jealous, but I was just like, just go over there, right? So we were cool, as you call it, you know, we were cool. And I was homeless for 18 months after walking out 14 years old. The thing is, he don't know where I live. This is why he was being nice to me, because I've made this mistake before. I've moved 3 times. The first time I moved, he acted like he was going to change, wanted to co-parent, so he found out where I lived. And when he found out where I lived, he came in my house and he did voodoo. He did some kind of spell in my house, because when he left, I kept sleeping and thinking someone was looking over me. So then that's when I realized, okay, his mum's a witch, he's a warlock. I need to protect myself with prayer, and he can't come in my house, he can't come in my space, and I need to clean my space. So when I moved over to another flat, I said to myself, you're not gonna know where I live. Okay, he tried to get friends, family, all types of people. Yeah, it's true. You can't co-parent, parallel parent. So where I'm going with this, guys, is that we keep having conversations, keep going in circles, and it's always the same thing. He's not interested in co-parenting. He wants to know where I live so he can pull up at my house and he can just do his nonsense whenever his new supply is bored or gone or whatever. They do it when they're bored. I'm waiting to move. That's what I'm worried about. Do you know what? Where I've moved is a bit further away from the narcissist. Where I was before, I was close to his sister on his like dad's side, and because I'm in London, London's small. Unless you're gonna move to a completely different like north, south, east, it's you're gonna be on top of each other because London, everyone's on top of each other. So he wanted to co-parent. It didn't work. So then he contacted me again recently, and he said, so he had a picture. So he unblocked me. He blocked me before. He unblocked me, and there's a picture of him and this new baby that looks just like my son. It's like these Nigerian genes are just strong. Anyway, so he was like, look, I want to take our son out and my daughter out together. So I said no because I watched a video with spiritual whistleblower. Big up my girl. I met her. She's amazing. And she was saying that they like to use their kids as pawn, so they like to make themselves look like a good father. So I said, no, I'm coming because I don't trust. But he's acting like, oh, I don't want you, I don't like you. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Yeah, so he wanted to take my kid out. I say my kid out and his kid out together so he can look like father of the year. Because that's what he always says, I'm father of the year. Go off. And so I said, no, you're not using my kid to look like a good father because you're not a good father, bruv. Send me money or, buy the stuff. I'll give you the sizes, buy the stuff and send it to me. So the way that it's worked now is that when he wants to, which is usually like Christmas or on his birthday, he will send him stuff. But he won't tell me. He will just get his dad to contact me and say, where are you? I'm gonna drop off the stuff. And I'm just like, I've always got to drop everything I'm doing to go and drop off the stuff. So basically, how it works, Hannah, is that he knows where my mum lives. So I make his dad go to my mum's house. Listen, what I've got to do to co-parent, it ain't a joke. People don't take, I've got to go to my mum's house, which is so far for me. It's like 40 minutes away. I've got to go to my mum's house to do any co-parenting. And when I mean co-parenting, I mean just pick up presents because he don't call my phone to speak to his son. Even when I had him unblocked, he never wanted to speak to his son. Yeah, yeah. You're not using my son because my son's cute and he's intelligent and that's my hard work, yeah? So you're not using my son to make yourself look good because you don't even know. And it's also crazy. This Christmas, he bought him a Nintendo Switch, which is like £200-300, right? And my son's 5, turning 6. And Nintendo Switches are for 8-year-olds. He keeps buying stuff that's really advanced for his age. He doesn't talk to me about it. Obviously, we can't talk because we can't co-parent. And it's like, he's buying him stuff and my son don't like those characters. You know what kids are like? They change their characters every week. One day he likes Minions, the next day he likes Sonic, the next day he likes Mario Brothers. So it's like you have to talk to me so you know. He doesn't know what his kid likes. He doesn't know what his kid wants. Guys, if my life goes off, I'm gonna come back on because I know what's going on, but sometimes it keeps going off. But he doesn't know his child. He doesn't call him. And I said to him, look, I know you've got another child and you've got a brand new family, a rich girl that you found, right? All I ask you to do, look at me begging again. See? This comes from childhood. Yeah, me begging for love, begging for anyway, going off topic. Why don't you just call your son every morning and just say, hi, how are you? How's school? Be a good boy. Be good for your mum. That's it. That's literally it. I have 2 kids. I refuse to co-parent. He can't contact me right now. I don't know if he will go to court to access. I pray he doesn't. So he baby's on the birthday.